The Division beta happened over the weekend and I'm super into it. I've been really excited for this game and I'm very happy to finally get my hands on it. One thing that's been a big topic of conversation during the development of the Division was its loot system. So I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of how that works. From what I can tell, the loot system is very close to Destiny. You've got all these different colors that correspond to the rarity of the item. And usually items that are more rare have more power and require a higher level. In fact, the rarity scale is exactly the same as it is in Destiny. But legendary items are called epic, and exotics are just called legendary. And legendary, the highest form of rarity in the Division, is orange instead of yellow, but close enough. So there are a lot of ways you can get items in the Division. Obviously, you can play the main missions. In the beta, there was only one main mission, so to get good loot, you would have to play it over and over again on hard. That was the best way to max out your character, too. There's also side missions, of course, and there's these encounters, which are tricky because they don't actually give you loot for completing them, but they usually end by a chest that has some loot waiting for you. Of course, you can kill random bad guys, but that won't get you much. There's vendors in the safe house, but I didn't get to play with those too much. You can craft weapons, but that wasn't available in the beta. You can find random chests sprinkled around the map that are marked as purple on your mini-map. And finally, you can give a civilian in need first aid or food, and they'll usually give you some clothes or something. Now there's also the Dark Zone, which has its own separate ranking, money, and loot system. This place is kind of a free-for-all. Any loot you acquire in here is contaminated and has to be extracted via one of these extraction points. At any time before you extract it, other players can murder you and take your loot. Trust absolutely no one. People like to hang around these extraction zones and take you out before you extract your items so they can take them for themselves. So be careful. Almost all of the weapons in the Division are customizable with these mods you pick up throughout the game. You have weapon skins, optics, magazines, grips, and muzzle attachments. These are non-specific, so if a gun has an optic slot, any optic will work on it. These mods also have a rarity scale, and sometimes they affect your gun stats. Oh yeah, and the stats are important too. Seems like the higher up on the rarity scale, the more likely the gun's going to be really powerful. Power is measured in DPS, which stands for damage per second. This is like MMO terminology, so it's pretty interesting to see it baked into the stats here. DPS is a combination of the gun's rate of fire, how fast it reloads, and its damage per bullet. So a sniper rifle might have a lower DPS than an assault rifle, but it will have a higher damage rating. And sometimes you need that accuracy. Some weapons also have talents attached to them, which are like perks. For example, this weapon's talent is killing a target increases your health by 2%. It's pretty neat. I played the beta for a good 7 hours, and this is the loot that I ended up with. I'm at the level cap for the beta, which is 8, but I didn't get to spend too much time in the Dark Zone, which can sometimes yield you the best loot. Anyway, I'm pretty comfortable running around with a sniper rifle and an assault rifle equipped, so I ended the beta with this semi-auto SCAR that has a relatively high damage rate, and this military L86 LSW for dealing out the DPS. And handguns are essentially useless. I didn't even know how to take mine out for a few hours. You hold down triangle, by the way. I also enjoyed this classic M44 that was a bolt-action sniper for the super high damage, and this weird-looking tactical Vector. I like the way he holds it with one hand when he's running with it, like they have their own animation for this type of weird-looking gun. I did notice a lot of these guns run out of ammo way too quickly, so modding them with extended mags or faster reloads is essential. There's also gear like body armor, backpacks, gas masks, knee pads, gloves, and holsters. These all have armor stats associated with them, but they also have perks as well. In the beta, these went pretty much unnoticed. I just picked the ones with the highest armor rating. So that's it. This is all the info I gathered from the Division beta. I had a blast. Kind of felt a little bit like an MMO version of Watch Dogs, but you know what? We'll see what happens when it comes out. Did any of you get a chance to play the Division beta? If not, are you interested in the Division? Do you like what you've been seeing so far? Leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter. All this other social media garbage. Also, don't forget to follow on Twitch, because I'm on there every single week. I know this format's weird, but I thought this worked best for a video like this where I wanted to show you a lot of the game. So here it is. Here's the game. Look at it. Oh, it's glory. And as always, the most important things that you can do is subscribe and share this video with a friend. Thank you guys very much. And have a good week. My first ever favorite gun in the game was this hand cannon in the beta. Here I am fawning over it. It does the coolest thing. This is referring to the revolutionary control scheme that the original Halo had. In this interview, he was also trying to explain to Destructoid why there would be no PC version of Destiny, because the PC master race is dead!